Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to go step by step on how to blood trail a deer. It's the middle of summer right now and I'm sure everyone is out practicing, getting ready for the season, and that's really the best thing you can do to ensure a short blood trail. Put in the work now, learn shot placement, learn animal anatomy for whatever animal you plan to hunt this fall, and those things will really pay dividends when it comes time to take a shot on an animal. Now, so let's say that you were successful, you made a shot on an animal. Congratulations. Here's what you have to do right after that. So, step one is just to listen and observe. You just want to watch that animal's body language, listen for any crashes, watch the directions it's running. Did you hear it wheeze? What type of sound did it make when the arrow hit the animal? What was its body language when the arrow hit the animal? All this stuff, all these clues are going to be really important when you're diagnosing your hit. The reason why blood trailing is so important is because arrows kill by hemorrhage, and it takes a few seconds for that to happen. And in the time it takes, even on a perfect hit, for an animal to expire, they can cover, 50, 100, 150 yards. And if you're hunting in an area with thick cover or vegetation, you can lose sight of them really quickly. So it's important to know how to blood trail for those reasons. And what you want to do is you want to take special note of the direction that animal is running and mark a spot, either if you can drop a pin on a GPS or take note of a landmark of the last spot you saw that deer. That's going to be really important when it's time to start following that blood trail. And no matter how confident you are in your hit, you want to wait 30 minutes, either, if you're in a ground blind, a tree stand, or just on the ground. Just sit still for 30 minutes. I know it's going to be really painful. It's going to be excruciating to wait that long, especially if you watch the animal go down or you heard a big crash. But trust me, crazy things have happened where, you push an animal, it gets up, it seems like it's expired, but it gets up and it runs off. And you really don't want to risk that, especially if this is your first year. Just wait 30 minutes, text all your friends, get someone to come help you get ready. You can take notes on everything you saw and heard right after the shot. That's a really good activity to do while you wait. You take note of all the things we just mentioned, all the observations that you made. All right, so step two is to go to the spot where you shot that animal. You're looking for first blood and your arrow. Your arrow can tell you a lot about the type of hit that you have. If it's real dark blood on there, or if you have some bubbles in there, that's a good sign. You've hit some, a vital area. If the arrow smells a little funny, that means you probably hit a little farther back than you wanted to, and depending on the animal's body position, you'll probably want to give that animal more time. Now, the blood on the ground is going to tell you even more information. If there's a lot of spraying blood, that's a good sign. That's an arterial hit. If it's drops on the ground, if there's anything coagulated, that could be a muscle hit. That's probably not a great sign. So all this information you're going to have to take in, and then you want to decide, should you continue with the blood trail or wait a little bit longer? Again, if this is your first animal, there's no harm in just waiting another hour. Just sit still. An hour and a half, the meat is not going to go bad in an hour and a half, even if it's super hot out. So just give it a little bit more time. Now, when you start blood trailing, do it slowly. Again, if that animal is still alive, you don't want to risk bumping it by, bumbling through the woods. So we're on to the blood trailing portion now, and that is step 3. You're on the blood trail, you're following the blood trail. What you want to do is you want to mark each spot that you find blood. That way, if you do lose the blood trail, you can always come back to the spot that you last found blood. If you're having a hard time finding blood, just stop at the last spot you found blood, make a loop around there, get on your hands and knees if you have to, look low. Don't forget to look, waist high on trees and things like that, because if, that animal is running and blood is spraying out, it might not hit the ground. It could, just hit the trees and the leaves that are, about waist high on a human. So keep your eye up, up high as well as straight on the ground. Another tip is, as you're following that blood trail, keep a lookout for the animal, because they're hard to see when they're not moving, they're laying still. they blend in perfectly with their environment. So keep a lookout for them as you're moving along. The final step is to make your recovery. Once you've found that animal, that's a big celebration. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're following all the laws in your state. All the states have different procedures. Some say you can't field dress an animal until you've, punched your tag. So make sure you know all those laws and you're doing everything by the book. Those are the basic steps for following a blood trail. A few quick tips is to carry hydrogen peroxide in your pack in a spray bottle. And what that does, if you spray that on some leaves in an area, any blood that it contacts is going to turn, foamy and white. And so it makes it much easier to see those tiny blood droplets. So on those tougher blood trails, that's when some experience can really be helpful. So if you know an experienced bow hunter in your area and you're having a hard time following a blood trail, it would be a good idea to call them, see if they're willing to come help you. Most hunters are willing to help, another hunter that they know make a recovery. So tap into that resource, send them photos of the blood you've found, things like that. And that will be a huge benefit and you'll learn a lot through their experience. All right, everyone, I hope this video was helpful. Keep practicing all summer long and through the season. Keep studying animal anatomy and shot placement. All those things will pay huge dividends this fall. So we'll see you all in the next video.